The U.S. is worse off because of Trump's incompetence, his ego, his inability to listen to facts. Iran took Trump to the cleaners with this so-called understanding. Iran doesn't have to cut off support for its terrorist proxies. Iran doesn't have to give up ballistic missile production. Iran doesn't have to make any hard commitments on its nuclear program now, and there's no guarantee they make any in 60 days. But Iran does get to rake in billions of dollars in oil sales, hundreds of billions in reconstruction aid, and God knows how much more in potential fees Trump may let it impose on ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Not to mention the benefits Iran will get from the sanction relief that Trump has promised, with no idea of what he'll get in return. Again, Iran took Trump to the cleaners. The U.S. is worse off because of Trump's incompetence, his ego, his inability to listen to facts. Iran took Trump to the cleaners with this so-called understanding. Iran doesn't have to cut off support for its terrorist proxies. Iran doesn't have to give up ballistic missile production. Iran doesn't have to make any hard commitments on its nuclear program now, and there's no guarantee they make any in 60 days. But Iran does get to rake in billions of dollars in oil sales, hundreds of billions in reconstruction aid, and God knows how much more in potential fees Trump may let it impose on ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Not to mention the benefits Iran will get from the sanction relief that Trump has promised, with no idea of what he'll get in return. Again, Iran took Trump to the cleaners. In Iran, the art of the deal has turned into the art of disaster. If Trump wants to send hundreds of billions of dollars to Iran, then he'll need to do it with Republican votes. Because I'll tell you, Democrats certainly won't be helping Trump send $300 billion to Iran. Are my colleagues on the other side of the aisle prepared to send Iran $300 billion when economic needs are so severe here at home? But Trump, that's what Trump wants them to do. Now, back in 2015, Trump said that America's deal with Iran will go down as one of the most incompetent ever made. The U.S. lost on virtually every point. We just don't win anymore. Trump is eating these words on a silver platter served up by Iran. Again, in 2015, he says the deal with Iran will go down as one of the most competent ever. The U.S. lost on virtually every point. We don't just win anymore. He's eating those words now because those apply so aptly to the deal he just announced, the so-called understanding with Iran. He's eating those words on a silver platter, served up by Iran. Even members of the Trump administration seem to be trying to put some distance between themselves and this so-called understanding, telling the public not to read too far into the text and that there are secret deals in the works. Well, I'll tell you right now, Trump needs to reveal any secret deals to Congress and the public immediately. He's got to do it right away. If the secret deals are anywhere near as bad as the understanding we have seen, we need to know about them. This war needs to end permanently. Americans need to know how Trump plans to do it. Crucially, Americans are wondering what they got out of this war, because Trump's blunder has left our country worse off by every measure. 13 Americans have been killed, hundreds more wounded. The Iranian regime is richer and more radical than before Trump's war. Iran has greater control over the Strait of Hormuz than before the war began. Gas prices are still much higher than before the war, with families having paid hundreds of dollars extra to fill up their tanks these past few months. The cost of everything from groceries to basic household necessities are higher than before the war as well. Trump's so-called understanding is the culmination and representation of his ruinous strategy in Iran since day one and his inability to govern in general. In Iran, and in so much else he does, Trump leads by whim, by ego, by greed. His strategy doesn't work in the time of peace, and it certainly doesn't work in the time of war. He is about the most incompetent president we have ever seen. In Iran, as in everything, the American people pay the price for Trump's incompetence. So, as I've been saying for months, it's long past time that Trump end this war, which never should have started in the first place. On FISA. Trump has made it clear beyond a shadow of a doubt that he doesn't care about our national security and cares even less about reauthorizing FISA. Trump has embarrassed Republicans, he's pulled the rug out from under them, and blown up the FISA negotiations at every step. Trump has lobbed a grenade into Gray Clayton's nomination, insisted on making his personal fixer, his own attack dog, Bill Pulte, the acting DNI. And he's demanded to tie FISA to the Extreme SAVE Act to attack Americans' voting rights. Trump is so hell-bent on taking away Americans' voting rights that he's willing to put them in danger to do it. Trump would rather have our intelligence community go after his political opponents than protect the American people. Can Trump get any more reckless? Make no mistake, Donald Trump is holding America's national security hostage for his own political gain. Republicans can point fingers at Democrats all they want, but Trump has himself owned up to blocking FISA. Here's what he said. This is Donald Trump. I will not approve FISA. We are canceling the Senate hearing. Bill Pulte will remain as the acting director of national intelligence. Trump will own any and all consequences that come from his undermining America's intelligence community and our national security. And finally, on housing. Donald Trump may show Americans how government should not function, but our bipartisan housing bill shows Americans how we should govern. The housing shortage in the United States is nothing less than an existential threat to the American dream. The fact that Democrats and Republicans were able to come together on the road to housing at a time of such division, shows just how dire America's housing crisis is today. Americans feel financially stuck as renting and buying a home keeps getting more and more expensive and more out of reach. One of the most effective ways to meaningfully lower housing costs for Americans is to build more, build faster, build everywhere. The road to housing is a crucial first step towards ending the affordability crisis and ensuring Americans don't have to break the bank to keep a roof over their head. The legislation starts to tackle the zoning and permitting bottlenecks that have slowed construction from one end of this country to the other. The bill supports new manufactured and modular housing that makes building cheaper, faster, easier. It also advances the effort to convert blighted buildings into new housing. Crucially, Road to Housing makes sure institutional investors don't squeeze American families out of buying a home. Now, let's make no mistake about it. The road to housing isn't the end of the road. It's just the start. Congratulations to Senator Warren for her leadership on this bill, and to all my colleagues, both Democrat and Republican, who've supported it. I'm pleased we've seized this opportunity to come up with a reasonable, bipartisan solution to help the American people, opportunities that have become few and far between thanks to the chaos coming out of the White House. This is how Americans want Congress to govern. I yield the floor.